Hello, today we'll be talking about how to convert angle measurements. So far, every time we have measured angles, we have measured them in degrees. Today we'll be learning about a new unit of measure called radians. So looking at our circle, if we do one rotation around the circle in degrees, it will be 360 degrees. If we do one rotation in radians, it will be the same as 2 pi. As you can see, you're always going to have a degree symbol that goes with the degrees, and then you're usually going to have a pi with the 1 for radians. If you only go halfway around the circle in degrees, it will be 180 degrees. If you go halfway around the circle in radians, it will be half of 2 pi, which will be just a single pi. If you only go 1/4 of the way, it will be 90 degrees, or half of a pi, which will be the same as pi over 2. And if you go 3/4 of the way, it will be 270 degrees, which you get from adding 180 plus 90. If we do it with radians, we'll add 1 pi plus a half pi, which will give us 3 pi over 2. So you have some conversions here. I'm going to add one more for 0 degrees if you don't go anywhere, 0 radians if you don't go anywhere as well. So you have 5 different conversions already. So some examples: 0 degrees is 0 radians, 2 pi is 360, pi over 2 is the same as 90 degrees, pi is the same as 180 degrees, and then 270 is the same as 3 pi over 2. I am going to focus on this one. Very easy to memorize, right? Again, one whole rotation is 2 pi. I only want half, so it will be pi or 180 degrees. It is important because I'm going to use that to set up a proportion that will help me convert any angle measurement to radians or to degrees, depending on which one is given. So looking at the first example, remember the conversion that I told you to remember, which will be 180 degrees, is the same thing as 1 pi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the proportion and then cross multiply and solve. So on the top part, I want to put degrees and degrees. They gave me pi over 2, and I want to know how many degrees that is. So I'm going to put x degrees. I don't know, that's what I'm looking for. But I do know that I'm trying to figure out what pi over 2 radians is in degrees. Like I said, we're going to cross multiply. I'm going to get x times pi equals 180 times pi over 2. Just to simplify a little bit, I'm going to do x times pi equals 180 pi divided by 2. X pi equals 90 pi, and then as you can see, the pi's will cancel out, leaving me x equals 90. But again, looking at our starting proportion, we know that we're talking about degrees. So we know that pi over 2 radians is equal to 90 degrees. We actually already had it over here. I just wanted to show you how to do it using proportions. So looking at the second one, now we're going to convert pi over 4 into degrees. So remember our setup that we're going to be doing. So every time we're going to start with 180 divided by pi equals, again, I don't know how many degrees are in pi over 4. So I'm going to set it up like that. I'm going to cross multiply. I'm going to get x times pi equals 180 pi over 4. You can just cancel out the pi's here immediately. And then we can do 180 divided by 4, which I already have over here, which is 45. So now I know that 45 degrees is the same thing as pi over 4. If you do it the other way around, converting 2 degrees into radians is going to be a similar process. remember our setup. 180 degrees is equal to pi. 30 degrees is equal to x radians. Remember, your goal is to have a pi at the end. So this one is going to work a little bit different, but the setup is always going to be the same. So I'm going to have 180x equals 30 pi. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 180. I need to simplify this a little. I'm going to use my Inspire to do it. So I'm just going to focus on the fraction part, and then I'm just going to add the pi because I want to have pi at the end. So 30 divided by 180. And then it's going to give me my simplified version once I put it in of 1 over 6. So don't forget you still had your pi. So 1 times pi is just pi divided by 6. So that will be your answer. Pretty easy, nothing hard. So let's do the next one. We want to convert 180 degrees into radians. Again, 180 over x, cross multiply. We get 180 pi equals 180x. Divide both sides by 180. Notice how they cancel out. So x is equal to just pi. Again, that was one of the ones that was given to us already. So it's pretty easy to do. Thank you for watching, and hopefully